One of my patients, another testimony, is a woman dying of the most horrible pain and misery, and they couldn't do anything for it. She's one of 6 cases in the entire world of what they're calling a tumor, kind of a cancerous tumor. They don't even know what to do with it. They didn't know what it was. This woman is so crippled by pain that she has 6 doctors. She's being seen by 6 different specialists at Stanford, and they all work with her in different ways, different specialties. She's been on all kinds of medication, and she started having this condition, let's say a few years ago, and she became so incapacitated and crippled by the pain that she just couldn't function. So she was having to have people babysit her little kids, and she just couldn't function anymore. They put her on gabapentin. She was put on all kinds of drugs, and she said the side effects from the drugs made her worse, to the point where she had no energy left. She was just sleeping hours and hours and hours a day, couldn't do anything. And she said the pain was so horrible, she'd wake up 5 or 6 times a night screaming with absolute pain. She was finally seen at UCSF, and they were going to operate on her, and what she told me was they thought it was a schwannoma, which is a benign tumor, and it's something that you can get rid of. And they opened her up, and they'd never seen this thing. They didn't know what it was. They biopsied it, but when the doctors looked at it really critically, what she was told after the fact was, they said, if we took out what we saw, it's wrapped around nerves, it's wrapped around joints, it's just all over the place. And they said, you're going to be crippled for the rest of your life. That's your choice. You're going to be in a wheelchair forever, completely crippled, or, if we take this thing out, or we leave it in. They have her open, and finally they closed her up, and they just left the thing in there. They said, we didn't want to completely cripple you, because they said there was no other outcome. So this is what I was told from the family. And so it was a very painful thing, because she said after they closed her up, and she said the pain got worse. And I was finally called in by people who know these people really well, who are part of the business ministry world. So they called me in to go meet with them at their home and have lunch with them. But this woman is miserable. She can't do anything. She can't go on planes. She likes doing volunteer work with kids. She couldn't sit on the ground cross-legged and read to little kids. She said, I can't do anything. And she's sleeping all the time. So they asked me if I would, do what I do, which is the medical kind of ministry. So I prayed for this woman. She's also an asthmatic. She's on inhalers and, extreme emergency inhalers. She's got digestive problems. She's got pain everywhere. She's got the asthma. She's got digestive pain. She said she's got candida. She's not doing very well. So I started to pray for her, and the first thing that God took away was the asthma. She just said, wow, I can throw my inhalers away. And all of a sudden I don't have to wheeze and, not be able to breathe. And then God started writing. I saw her a few times the first week. He started on her digestive function, and then he started on her pain. And she said, I'm starting to feel a change in my pain level, which was excruciating. And how she ended up with this was she had a wonderful healing from the Lord. She could go fly now. She can sit cross-legged. She can be with kids. She can socialize with people. And it's a family generational curse. I didn't know much about her family. But both sides of her family have electrical imbalances in their brain and nervous system, and both parents suffer from pain. Each of them has a different kind of pain. They both have kind of electrical imbalances in the nervous system, and she is far worse than any of the member of her family. But she's got the curse coming from both sides. That was pretty unusual. She's been doing really well. I got after the fact, I got a card from her, absolutely profoundly thanking. She said, I'm holding up really well. She asked me if I would be a Facebook friend with her. So I said, okay, am I going to Facebook friend with her? And then her husband and I have had some coffee together and some lunches, and she's doing really well. I'm very happy for the family.